Okay, hello. Let's get situated here. Today, we are reading from Romans 8:28. And it says, "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to His purpose." And an example that we can talk about for this verse is Jesus' death. It was something that happened that looked like it was not good, but God had a purpose and for Jesus, and in the end, Jesus did rise up from the dead, and He saved. He arose from the dead, and and yes, and it was good. It was good, and it saved us from death. His death saved us from our spiritual death. Yes.
Okay.
So
One thing. Okay, can I talk now?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
One thing to so like the prosperity preachers, like the big ones that say like, "Oh, asking it shall be given." They really like this verse because they think that, or they like to tell people that, you know, what?
I don't really think that goes with this verse. Like, I don't. Like, I think.
I do.
This
so.
is about, like.
I know. It like saying that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. This is not saying that whatever you go through is going to be good, and that like it's not prosperity that He's saying. It's not saying that everything's going to be easy. It's saying that if it is in His will for our life, then whatever we go through, He's going to use for good. So like depression or a death or
Losing a job.
yeah, or poverty or something, all of those things can be used as
To glorify Him.
right, like even if it's just by being able to relate to somebody and being able to sympathize and understand what that person is going through, that's working for the good of the Lord. So
to those who are the called according to His purpose,
not our purpose,
not our will.
not what we want, because
You ever, like those huge, like, tapestry type thing, like they're like so intricate and stuff, like on the front, and they're like really thick. They're like this thick.
Sure.
And then you look at the back of it, and it is like completely like, it's just like thread everywhere, going from here to here to here to here, and it looks really bad. But and that can like feel like our life sometimes, like you don't know why God took you from here to here, and
That's a really good connection, dude.
and like it just looks like a mess, and it is a mess, but then when it's finished, it is beautiful, and you just like, because God sees this side. God sees this side of the thing, and we're stuck here because we're not at the end yet, and it's like,
So we don't see the pretty part.
yeah, we don't, not yet.
We just know that we're going.
But we can see that God is working on it and know that it's going to be beautiful, and that through all things, all the situations that happen in our life, that it will be good in the end. And, I think about that that analogy?
Metaphor.
I think about that a lot because, like, the stuff that happens in our life is crazy and stuff.
We crazy.
Can I have some of that?
No.
Okay.
Yes. It's the last bite.
I'll do these.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyway. So yeah, that was good. And that really, you know, like what you said, we're so close up on things that we don't understand why we're having to go through this or having to do this or why we feel like led to do something, especially if it's out of our comfort zone and everything. But if we trust God, then we know that everything's gonna work out
We're not dealing with her.
in one way or another.
Yep.
So like everything, like when it works together and stuff, it still not may seem like it works together, and you may not like see it working together until like years from now.
And this is a verse in Romans 11:34. And it says, "For who has known the mind of the Lord or has become his counselor?" It just reminds us again, like, we don't know what the Lord has in store for us. And
His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and his ways are higher than our ways. So sometimes Jesus got his like mind. He has a mind of his own.
Always.
He always has his mind. Well, duh. He has a mind of his own, and
Yes.
we don't understand because he's God and we're not. Even though we wish we knew everything. But yeah. Excuse me. Here.
No.
For of him and through him and to him are all things, to whom be glory forever.
Amen.
Which is another thing, God works for the good of those who love him. Like that little section, God works, is he's in everything, and nothing happens without going through his hands. No matter like if we